Hello, my spooky friends.
My name is Cassie,
And I'm Caitlin.
and welcome in to I'd Survive.
Clean enough. I feel like my voice, like I'm losing my voice or something. I feel like I sound.
I can hear it a little bit.
Yeah, what is that? No, I don't
That's what
have
happens.
time.
I
don't have
know.
time for that right now.
Well, that's why is you're so busy, and it's this time of year, like you're bound to get a little sniffly.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll get through it.
Okay, we are in the midst of October as this is coming out.
Yes.
We're having fun. We're also stressed because we have so many plans.
It's fine.
Also, I realized that this movie I'm covering today is the same exact year that Trick or Treat came out. It's also 2007.
Oh, I thought this was an older movie. Okay.
No, this is 2007. Apparently a great year for the Halloween spirit.
Yes.
But yeah, before we get to that, have you watched any new horror this week?
I actually did. This past week, I watched The Thing for the first time.
Is this a reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Like, you watched The Thing. You recorded it, right? Like,
I
please.
sure did. Genuinely might be one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Because I think the plot is fun. It's very like Imposter Among Us kind of vibes. And then also some of the best like practical effects and makeup that I've seen in such an old film.
I know. Bring it back.
Insane. I had no idea what I was getting into with this movie.
Yeah.
Because all I knew about it was the cover. That was literally all I knew.
Iconic. Yeah.
Iconic cover. And then even the cover doesn't prepare you remotely for what you're getting into because it's like the thing on the cover is like just this like silhouetted looking, kind of normal looking like swamp monster.
Yeah.
You get into the movie and you're like, oh no.
There's so much going on here.
There, like the jaw on the floor, the entire film. I was like, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is insane. So
amazing.
I loved that. That was such a fun movie.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's one of those movies where I'm like, you haven't seen it yet?
Yeah.
But it's so exciting when someone watches that. It's a good one. It's also just a fun reaction. I've gone through reactions of that movie and now I'm so excited to watch yours. It's gonna be fun. I did not have any time to watch new horror this week, so I have absolutely nothing to bring to the table for this little intro. Other than what I have coming up.
Oh, what do you have coming up?
Where next week I'm gonna be playing the game Mouthwashing. Or I guess this week.
Yes,
it's Monday.
This week. True that. Yeah. I did see that on your schedule.
I don't know. Do you know anything about that game? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I've watched playthroughs. I saw it on your schedule. And the only thing I'm going to say.
Oh no.
You're going to be talking. It's dialogue heavy without the voices. So I love reading a lot of dialogue from these characters. It's very, very story heavy. It's really cool.
Amazing.
It's kind of just like weird indie horror.
Which I love. Yeah. I'm interested. I'm going into it completely blind. I just know that this is a game that everybody plays and like it's getting into October, so I want to do some spooky spooks. But it's funny because when I posted my stream schedule on Instagram this morning, my sister who's in college, she messaged me immediately and was like, a whole group in my horror class last year did their final project on mouthwashing. And I was like, so I'm not surprised by what you're saying right now because she says this and I'm like, oh, there's a lot going on in this game. Like there's a lot to dissect in this game.
Exactly. Yeah. Which
is my kind of game.
Right. It's not like, I mean, not that it doesn't have this, but it's not like this big jump scary horror game.
Sure.
It's just like very story heavy and you get into a lot of different things. That should be fun. That should be fun.
I'm excited. I'll report back.
Please do. Before we go into the episode, something I actually do want to bring up. The movie Him is out as of now, and I have not seen it yet, and I would like to see it, but I'm concerned now. I was excited, and then I found out it's not actually a Jordan Peele film. He's
just a producer.
Yes, why is it being marketed as one of his films? Like that hurts me.
I know. I found that out a little later than I would have hoped. Because at first I thought it was like the next Jordan Peele movie. And I was like, oh, okay, he's back. Yep. But then like when the trailer came out is when I realized, I was like, oh, it just is produced by him. So, and honestly, I have heard some
bad things.
So I'm like, oh man, I probably won't. I'm definitely not going to watch it in theaters.
Yes.
But we'll see. I'll probably end up giving it a watch, like if I ever have freaking free time, to watch a movie that I know I might not enjoy. But I'm curious still.
I mean, for me, I was so excited for it because sports, horror, my life. Like I was just like so pumped. I'm probably still gonna film for it, honestly, when it comes out. Because I conceptually I'm intrigued.
Right.
And I also have low expectations, so I can only be impressed, right? So, at this point, well, I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Because you would think it's still like, I don't know, you would expect it to still be like a good movie. Like literally, we've watched some like bad movies where it's like, oh my God, like I can't hear what they're saying. I can't see what's going on. Like genuinely like very, very low budget. So at the very least, it has to look good. Right? Yeah. And that should help you get through it.
Right. And I think too, the thing that we have to like remember is a lot of people went into this the first week being like, Jordan Peele film, so excited. Right. So their expectations were so high. Yes. So I don't want to say that it's horrible because people went in with high expectations and didn't get what they expected. So like, I'm definitely going to give it a chance, but I am disappointed that it wasn't truly directed by Jordan Peele. And it like I respect that man a lot, but I'm just like, why did he put his name on it like that? Like, because I feel like that just like loses a little bit of credibility.
I know.
Because you don't want people to think you directed a movie that maybe isn't that good. I don't know. Right. The whole thing's weird.
I will say on IMDb, there's like on his IMDb, there's an untitled Jordan Peele project that's in pre-production. And he's attached as writer-director. So there's something in the works, but I'm assuming with it being that early on, it'll be like a year or two before we even have a title, have a date, like all that.
Yeah. I very much look forward to whatever his next directed project is.
All right. Well, okay.
Giggle.
I know. I start every single freaking movie like this from like, here we go, I guess. All right. So Murder Party is a horror comedy, heavy on the comedy.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Completely shot in Brooklyn, New York. It made its rounds through a couple different festivals and was given the Audience Award for Best Feature at the 2007 Slamdance Film Festival. So Jeremy Saulnier, I think, was the writer and director, an NYU grad with a Bachelor of Fine Arts. This was his first feature film, and two of his childhood best friends, Christopher Sharp and Macon Blair, are also involved, both as actors. And then Christopher is an executive producer as well. So it's one of those like passion projects made with friends sort of movies. Like you can just tell they had fun putting this together as a group of friends, which I like.
That's kind of cute.
That's what the situation was when I did Intruder, the grocery store horror.
Yes.
That was boys getting together and writing a horror script, and it's fun.
That's true.
So yeah, they actually failed to find investors for the film, so they decided to just go with it with like no money, which I was confused by that because I'm like, how how'd you just make this with no money? But I guess they pulled it off. But despite that, this movie holds a 100% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm sorry. What do you mean? There's no way.
I know. I don't know. It's fun. It's smart, especially for 2007. I think it's very different from what 2007 was doing at the time.
Okay. Yeah. If you can stand out, that's half the battle.
Yeah. It's also going to be a bit of a weird one for survivability scores, in my opinion, but I just could not help covering this movie because I thought it would make for a great episode and story.
Yep, and that's,
that's what we're here for.
Me. Exactly.
We open with a montage of spooky Halloween neighborhood shots.
I'm already excited.
I know. It's not dark yet. But kids are running around in Halloween costumes, decorations littering all the streets and the yards. The local bakery is setting out like festive treats like eyeball cupcakes and witch
Oh my
pastries.
gosh.
It's so cute.
I want to go.
I know. I want to like make, oh my God. I'm like not even a baker, but I want to bake everything when it comes to October. Like that's so cute. I love like festive baking.
Yes.
Just festive anything, let's be honest.
Uh-huh.
And then the camera starts to follow this little black envelope folded closed with a red wax seal stamp. And it's just floating down the sidewalk, being carried by the wind. So nobody's paying this little envelope any mind until a man steps on it on accident. This is Chris. He's the main character. And he starts to lean down to pick it up, but then an alarm goes off and he's like, oh, gotta take my meds. So he pulls out some...
Be me. I did not take my meds
Always
today.
Forget. Oh, no.
Thanks for the reminder.
Right? You need a little watch like Chris that beeps at you incessantly until you take them.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, he pulls out some prescription meds, pops one in his mouth. They're like anti-anxiety. And he pops one in his mouth and then finally picks up this black letter, opening it up and finding that on the inside it says, "Murder party tonight, 290 Shore Street, come alone."
Nope.
And he smiles to himself a little before tucking the invitation away in his pocket and continuing his walk home. And unfortunately, when he gets home, he finds that his nice carved jack-o'-lantern that he had set out on his front stoop has been destroyed, smashed to pieces. Damn kids.
It was probably Charlie from Trick or Treat. She's running around smashing pumpkins. Yeah.
So yeah, he's sad, but whatever. He heads inside. Right away, he heads to a kitchen cabinet and grabs a bowl where he pours out a bag of candy corn. And then he takes his pick out of a stack of spooky movies, all VHS tapes, and he ends up picking one called Scarewolf before popping it into the player. And then he takes his bowl of candy corn, heads on over to his little comfy chair, but he doesn't sit. Instead, he looks down at the chair, a little annoyed, but not surprised, and he goes, "Sir Lancelot, could you please get down?" And we get a shot of this chair and the fluffy cat sprawled across it with no intention of getting down.
Yeah, that sounds like a cat. Also, yeah. I was fully expecting you to be like, "Sir Lancelot, get down," and there's gonna be nobody there, and he was talking to the ghost in his house. That's what I was. Oh my expecting.
God, that's so funny. That's giving ghost name. Like if I had a ghost, I might name it Sir Lancelot.
Yeah, right. It's a good name.
I'm gonna start talking to a ghost called Sir Lancelot for fun around my boyfriend.
Oh yes,
in the house.
Do. Oh my God,
just for fun.
No, and like you just have to not break character.
Yeah.
Just be like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait, I'm gonna do this.
Please.
He's gonna be so concerned. Okay. But yeah. So the cat not getting down. So Chris is just like, fine. And instead of getting comfy cozy on this Halloween night, he decides to grab that invitation and look up some directions to the address on his computer. So this is where we need to talk a little because absolutely not, right?
No. I found it on a sidewalk. It wasn't even said to me. You know, here's honest to God truth. I might drive by.
Right.
I might drive by, but I'm not like gonna go in. I think I could be curious. And if I had nothing better to do, let's drive by and see what's going on at the murder party.
Yeah. And if it's like this big happening, like people everywhere having fun situation, then maybe I'll go in.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably not, but maybe.
Maybe. I like a big party. Okay, I like to blend into a big party on Halloween.
But you found the invitation on the sidewalk.
Yeah, but I think if it's big enough, I would assume like no one really got invited. Everyone just kind of found out about it and showed up, you know?
Okay, yeah, I guess.
But if it's like just like a door and I don't see people,
God, no.
I'm not knocking on that door.
No, not a chance.
Even if it wasn't called murder party, even if it was called like fun, happy Halloween parade times. I don't know. Like I'm not knocking on that door.
Yeah. I mean, neither.
You know the parade time parties.
I went to one of those last week. Actually, it was pretty
amazing. Good. Okay, so yeah, he's looking up the directions on his computer, and then he grabs his smashed pumpkin off his front stoop and decides to make a quick little pumpkin raisin loaf. And he doesn't want to show up at the party empty-handed.
He makes a quick pumpkin raisin loaf. Yep.
Yeah, as you do when you want to attend a murder party.
This guy's confusing the fuck out of me already. Like he was gonna sit down and watch a movie, but the cat didn't get up from the chair, so now he's gonna go to a murder party with a pumpkin raisin loaf of bread. Like what?
Exactly. You get
it. No, for sure. For sure.
So, of course, then it's time to throw a Halloween costume together.
Ooh.
And luckily, he goes up to his storage room upstairs and we see a box labeled Halloween costume.
Oh,
and
slay.
out of that box, he pulls like this huge mask. I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but it's a spooky mask. But he pulls a Uno reverse because you think he's going to put this mask on and use this costume that's in this box.
Yeah.
But no, instead, he throws that to the side and gets to work cutting up this cardboard box in order to do a little DIY. And with some cardboard and duct tape and string, he transforms himself into what is supposed to be a knight. And it is rough, but I love it because any DIY costume, like
fair.
It has a charm.
Yeah, there is charm.
So yeah, he gets those directions printed out, like some Google Maps.
Oh, heck yeah.
Directions he's carrying around.
Yeah.
And he grabs his pumpkin raisin loaf, sets the candy corn out on his stoop with a little help yourself sign. And it's time to hit the town and go to this murder party. So he takes the subway into a lively part of Brooklyn where the streets are full of adults in costumes. It's like the get drunk at random parties time of Halloween night now.
Mm-hmm.
But after walking a couple blocks, the directions take him down more deserted streets away from the lively city life. And it's getting a little spooky. So Chris himself is spooked too because we just cut to a shot of him sprinting, I should say, out of breath down an industrial looking alley trying to find this place. I think he knows he's in a sketchy area and he's just like, I need to get out of here, but he's still going to the party.
Bro. All right, listen, I would survive. Like, end of episode. Like, what are we doing?
I know. This first act, it's so easy for us to be like, well, we would not be going here.
We wouldn't be doing that.
End of story. But he does eventually find it, 290 Shore Street, and there's just a red light pouring out of this door. No one around.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he tries to knock and calls out like, hello, at first.
Hello.
And then no one answers. So, of course, you know what he does?
He walks in.
He just lets himself in,
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. And when he walks in, he's in this like big brick and concrete hallway that is kind of giving warehouse vibes, this building. Yes, and it's cluttered with a bunch of random junk. And finally, he makes it into a big room where there's a group of friends all hanging out, doing their own thing. Music is on, and it's giving more of like chill sesh rather than party. So like it's a little awkward when he walks in.
Yeah, for sure.
I would walk, oh my God, before anyone noticed me.
Oh, 100%.
Like if we're even walking in, obviously we're not. But at that point, it's like, oh my God, this is not a party. This is just like a group of friends hanging out. This is so awkward. I'm turning around right now.
Yes.
So one guy does notice him first and he's like smoking a cigarette. But when he clocks Chris, his eyes go wide and he immediately loses the cigarette and pulls his werewolf mask over his face. And then everyone here is dressed up. So we have a vampire dude working on carving a pumpkin.
Okay.
A zombie cheerleader is texting on her phone. Another guy apparently dressed as a baseball fury from the 1979 movie The Warriors is also there.
Of course.
We both know exactly what to picture here.
Yes, we do.
As someone who hasn't seen the movie, it just kind of looks like he's like a Simpsons character in a baseball uniform.
Oh.
So I'm confused by what's going on in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just chilling on the floor with his phone. Like, I don't even know if it's a phone or like a little video game handheld. And then there's a girl dressed as Pris from Blade Runner, another movie I'm assuming neither of us have seen.
True that.
So oops. But yeah, she's like doing a line of cocaine. And when she looks up and sees Chris, she lets out a sharp bark of a laugh. And at this point, everyone's attention is now drawn to him.
Oh.
So they cut the music and Chris is like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I must have made a mistake. Because obviously it doesn't appear that there's a party happening. But the vampire dude, his name is Paul. He's like, nah, no mistake. You're just a little early is all. And Chris is like, okay, chill. And then just looks around this big room, like taking it all in. And on the floor, he sees a chainsaw, rope, duct tape, a sledgehammer, an axe, and a shit ton of plastic tarp. Exactly.
Okay.
And while he's taking all that in, the girl dressed as Triss from Blade Runner, her name is Lexi. She runs up and quickly closes and probably locks like the door that Chris just came through.
Oh my God.
And then they both just look at each other like awkwardly because she's like trying to be slick with it, but she is not at all. And he's like looking at her like, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just staring at each other, but neither of them verbally acknowledge anything.
Oh.
So Chris is just like, whatever, and decides to break the silence by going, so I brought some pumpkin bread. Zombie cheerleader Sky accepts the bread and is like, thank you, that's really sweet. And over by the weapons in the room, we see someone reach for an axe. Yes.
Yay! Axe time.
Chris just doesn't, how does he not see what's coming? He just doesn't. He really like,
doesn't. Okay.
He's giving like sweet, kind, not gonna judge anyone type of person. Like, oh, you guys just like hanging out with weapons in a warehouse. Like, that's chill. Yeah. I brought pumpkin bread.
Yeah. And I assume this is all lending itself to the heavy comedy vibe of the film.
Yeah, the way it's shot. It's actually just shot so well. Like the comedic beats of the cinematography is really good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Chris is just being wholesome as ever, talking to Sky, Paul, and Lexi. And through his awkward smile, he's just like, happy Halloween. And the girls like actually giggle at him. And Paul's like, yeah, sure. Like, he's like, what's going on? What is this weirdo doing here? I think they're expecting him to be a bit more sketched out by now than he is. So they just don't know what to do with this energy.
Fair enough.
But no, Chris is like, yeah, thanks for inviting me. Even though it also wasn't a personal invitation. So I don't know why he said that. But
that's so true. That's so true.
Like, dude, you found this invitation on the street, but he's just a wholesome guy.
Yeah, he's just having a good time.
And Vampire Paul pulls out the said invitation, takes a lighter, and sets it on fire in front of Chris. And then he starts just waving it around like he's doing a magic trick.
Okay.
But he's doing this because we can see that it was Werewolf Macon who grabbed that axe before, and now he's creeping up behind Chris with it raised in the air. And this like invitation on fire stick is just a distraction to like keep Chris focused.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
You just said werewolf with an axe?
Indeed.
Do you know what I'm picturing?
No. Wait, no.
Creep.
Oh my God, no, it is giving that. And the mask is giving that.
Oh my God,
I actually did have that thought for a second when I was watching.
Yes.
And then I just left my mind because this movie took me on a ride completely elsewhere.
That's fair. That's, you know what? Valid.
But no, please do picture that.
Okay, perfect. What's his name? Peach Fuzz? Is that the?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Right. Everyone watch, if you haven't watched Creep, watch Creep 1 and Creep 2 and watch the Creep Files on Shudder. Season 2 coming soon.
Yeah, she's been begging me to watch this for a long time and I will get to it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
You're going to be so... It's like so odd. It's so weird.
I love weird, odd shit. Give it to me.
So yeah, this goes on, like the distraction with the fire envelope is going on for a good 30 seconds as Macon, the werewolf, gets closer and closer. But when he's like 2 feet behind Chris, the raised axe gets caught on a light bulb string. like when you pull the chain to turn the light on.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get the axe out of this chain trap, and he accidentally turns the light on. So then Chris immediately sees the shadow of a man holding an axe over his head behind him and is like, what the hell? And he was so confused, by the way, by Paul's like lame magic trick with the invitation on fire. He's already confused, and now the shadow is here, and he's like standing there still trying to be polite. And he's like, oh, nice. Okay. Like he says, oh, nice. Okay.
That's what he says.
Like, yes.
Oh.
And then everyone panics. And then, like, the gig is up. The charade is up. And Macon, if there ever was one. And Macon screams, get him. And then this whole friend group just topples on top of Chris. To stop him from running away.
Right.
They manage to grab him and tie him up with some rope to a chair. So Macon tells him, welcome to your murder. And we cut to them also having him gagged with like a bandana. And Chris is just like hanging out in this chair while the rest of the friend group is now just hanging out and like talking to each other as they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And one girl is like, his cardboard outfit freaked me out. And Macon's like defending his act skills, saying that the light change just came out of nowhere. He's like, guys, like that was so
Yes.
crazy.
So
I don't know how that
true.
happened. Lexi's just sitting on her phone. Vampire Paul's working on taking pictures of Chris with like this big fancy camera on a tripod.
Oh.
And he's like, you know, Lexi, it's probably not the smartest idea to be using your cell phone in the middle of a crime. And Lexi's like, well, snapping photos isn't the greatest idea either, dildo.
Oh.
Yes, dildo. And for some reason, everybody in this movie continues to call each other dildo. It never ends.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this is a 2007 thing or if it was just this movie.
I feel like that's giving like it's an inside joke between like the director and his friends,
Maybe,
and they were like,
maybe.
"We're gonna use this every 5 minutes in this movie."
Wait, that's what I want it to be. I think that
Yeah.
makes sense. So Skye suggests that they go to Cicero's Halloween party instead of this. Like she's kind of bored of everything already.
Oh,
But
bored of murder.
Macon, yeah. But Macon's like, nah, this is the party. We've been planning this for weeks and Cicero's a fucking asshole. And Skye's like, ugh, yeah, but I didn't even think anyone would show up to this. And Paul's like, yeah, we advertised it as a murder party. Anyone stupid enough to show up to this deserves to die. We're sticking with the plan. Right? Like, was he wrong?
Right. And like, I mean, I don't know, maybe you'll get into this, but I'm like thinking right now, like, did they throw one invitation on the street or did they throw a bunch of them? I'm curious about that. Because like,
I'll
one
tell you
person
right now,
showed up.
that's not answered. That's not answered.
Oh, okay.
So interesting thought, though.
Yeah.
Lexi goes, yeah, and he's a white male. He's perfect. Also, we see that Lexi's just gotten off the phone and she informs the group that Alexander is on his way over, which Skye points out specifically to Paul that wanting to impress Alexander is the real reason Paul wants to keep this show on the road so badly.
Mm.
And Paul rolls his eyes and is like, yeah, okay, fuck you. I want a grant. So we're gathering now that this group of friends are a bunch of art students and Alexander is some wealthy art snob that they're hoping to get a grant from for this extreme art display idea that they've got going on here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Skye is munching on the pumpkin raisin loaf that Chris brought along, still pretty uninterested in this whole thing, and is like, okay, how about we bring it to a vote? Stay here and murder Chris or go to Cicero's party? And Macon pipes up like, fuck a vote, Skye. You're the one that brought the tub of acid, like hardcore, right?
Oh.
Right. Like you brought the acid. Like, why are you backing out now? I thought you were the hardcore one.
Yeah, wait. Well, I mean, a tub of acid makes me think there's two ways you could take acid, right? But a tub makes me think, yeah. Oh boy.
Well, I just wonder where you get a tub of acid.
I don't know. Like, imagine just like you walk in the store, you buy a tub of acid, walk down the street, like what? How do you obtain that?
No, I don't know. Skye sighs and looks at their friend in the group who's been sitting silently on the floor on his phone the entire time. And he slowly looks up from his phone and is like, what? And they ask him, do we stay and murder Chris or what? And Bill's response is, I didn't sign up for a second-degree salt party. Which,
what?
Exactly. I don't know what he even means by that, but I think he's saying he's down to murder.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what that means.
So Skye is overruled and we're sticking with the plan. Except the plan starts to go a little off the rails pretty quickly, right? Because after munching on the pumpkin raisin loaf this whole time, Skye is suddenly like, wait, is there raisins in this? Chris nods. She asks, are they organic? And Chris shakes his head. And Lexi's like, oh my God, you're allergic. You're going to die. Are you going to die? You're not going to die, are you? And she snaps a picture of Skye immediately on her like little flip phone just in case she's about to die.
Oh, yeah, just in case.
Yeah. And Macon asks, should I call 911? And Chris, tied up to his chair, starts like frantically nodding like, yes, call 911. But Skye's like, no, I'm fine. I just get really dizzy. I just need to sit down. Macon pulls over a pile of boxes for her to sit. And when she starts to bend her knees to sit on them, she's so dizzy already that she completely just falls off balance onto the floor, smacking her head hard on like a metal pipe thing.
Ooh.
Real hard. And everyone gasps and just stares at her. But she dusts herself off, manages to sit herself back up on those boxes and is like, LOL, oops. But we see a huge hole in the side of her head. Oh! And it's just like squirting blood.
Oh.
And everyone in the room just keeps staring at her. And this
Yeah.
guy's like, it smells like cut grass. And blood is now pouring out of her wound, dripping down onto her chest. And her final word is, what? Before she tumbles off the boxes and dies.
Okay.
And this is our first survivability check.
What just happened?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, so I see how this is a weird already.
Yeah.
Because Chris 100, because 1, I don't go, 2, he's still alive. But this girlie that just died, like, I mean, I'm not hosting a murder party in most, timelines, I don't think. How do you explain what just happened in a logical way where I can be like, yeah, I'd survive falling to the ground due to non-organic raisins and a metal pole puts a hole in my head. I mean, I would have made better decisions. Like, yeah. I don't know. What the frick? Am I wrong for saying 97?
So I did 99.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I was like, okay, I'm not going to the party. This is the only act where I'm allowed to take that into account.
Yep, and I agree with that.
And then I'm not an art student throwing a murder party either.
Yeah, But
it's like, you have to give it I gave it just a 1% leeway because I'm like, what if? There's a possibility that I end up being one of these people. Like, there's a possibility I am that girly that just passed out from, organic raisins.
Exactly.
You never
could
know.
Happen.
But yeah, we're fine. Let's be real.
We really are.
So the room stares at Sky's dead body. They're all in shock. And then Macon points at Chris and is like, you killed her. You're bread. I'm going to kill you. And he grabs the pumpkin raisin loaf and starts stuffing it into Chris's mouth. Except, like, not really, because Chris's mouth is literally still covered with duct tape.
Oh.
Yeah.
LOL.
But Paul is the voice of reason here and is like, whoa, wait, Macon. We gotta wait for Alexander before we do anything here. But Macon's gone mad. He keeps screaming in Chris's face about how he's gonna pay. And then he grabs the tub of acid that Sky brought tonight and pours it all over Chris. Like, laughing maniacally at first.
Ew.
But then once it is all poured out, he immediately drops the acid and, like, starts backing away and panicking and is like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Meanwhile, Chris is sitting there laughing because he's realizing that whatever he's been doused in was not, in fact, acid that's going to melt his skin off.
Oh, yeah.
He's just grateful he's, like, still sitting here alive.
Yeah.
And the group is confused. So Lexi reads the label on the container, which reads,
oh dear, what is it?
Acetic or acetic acid. And she's like, it smells like vinegar. I'll look it up on the internet. And she skippers away while typing on her phone. And she finds out that, yes, it is, in fact, just vinegar.
Oh, that's got to smell real good.
Yeah. Paul's like, cool, it's vinegar. What are we going to do now? Pickle him to death? And at this point, Bill, the little guy... He's not little, he's a grown man.
The little guy. Me thinking of Sam from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, no, Bill is just smoking a joint on the floor, like, completely out of it. Like, he's never a part of the group. Like, he's just always doing his own thing. Macon is now chugging hard liquor because he thought he killed a man for a couple seconds there and it ended up freaking him out. But it's like,
true.
Yeah, that's what you guys are planning to do tonight. So maybe think this through.
Get used to it.
Paul's stressed with both of them because apparently they agreed on no alcohol or drugs until after the deed was done. And also, Sky's dead body is still chilling on the floor with more and more blood pooling around it. Like, everything's going to shit, which, of course, when Lexi's phone rings and she sees that it's Alexander, she's freaking out like, oh my God, it's Alexander. He's here. This is a clusterfuck. He's going to think we're a bunch of dildos. And Paul's like, okay, not if he doesn't see the body. Like, they don't want Alexander to know that Sky is dead. That would be embarrassing, you know?
Yeah, no, that should be our concern right now, so
Macon immediately jumps on that, acting like it's his own idea, and he's like, we should hide the body. So yes, they decide to wrap Sky up in the plastic tarp that they originally had set up for Chris, and then they stuff her in a chest freezer before Lexi heads downstairs to go meet Alexander at the door.
All right.
So Alexander is dressed as a vampire, same as Paul. And he has brought along his dog, Hammer, and some random dude named Zyko, whom he claims to be his new best friend.
Zyko.
Okay. Zyko is not dressed up, and based on his attitude, he's giving like entourage bodyguard vibes. And when Alexander makes it to the main room, he immediately clocks Paul and the fact that Paul is dressed like a vampire, just like him. So he decides to be an asshole and is like, take your vampire fangs off. And at first, Paul is like, huh? Are you serious? Well, Alexander looks to Zyko and gives him a little signal, and Zyko pulls a gun on Paul. So yes,
the frick?
He is being serious. And Paul takes out his vampire fangs, but then Alexander proceeds to make him take off his vampire coat, his vampire shirt, and his vampire pants. So Paul is left in like a band tee and his underwear.
Okay.
And at the end of all of this, Alexander stares down at Paul in like his underwear and goes, huh, you're hairy. And then redirects his attention to Chris tied up on the chair going, okay, so who's this dildo?
You're hairy? You're hairy. Who is this dildo? What? Like, what is the script?
It is so boy best friends coded.
It really is.
Before he gets an answer, Hammer is sniffing around the place and ends up very interested in that chest freezer.
Oh.
So Lexi panics and gives like a fake sneeze before saying, I'm sorry, I'm really allergic to dogs. I'm just going to take him outside. And she grabs Hammer's leash and leads him out of the room. Alexander doesn't care and is still focused on Chris. So he tells Zyko to grab Chris's wallet. So he does, out of Chris's back pocket, takes the money out for himself, then throws the wallet to Alexander, who goes through his ID. And he reads aloud, Christopher S. Holly, you're old. And then he finds a dentist card and is like, I need a good dentist. Is this guy any good? And Chris just stares back blankly at him like, what are you?
Yeah, like, okay, what's happening right now?
Please leave. At this point, Lexi's coming back into the room from taking the dog out, and Alexander asks, hey, where's Sky, the dead girl?
Yeah.
And Lexi's like, yeah, she's a no-show, I guess. Weird, right? She cared more about Cicero's party. And Alexander goes, what a dirty whore. And then gets over it and is like, anyways, he goes, anyways, what are the pictures, bitches? And Lexi walks up to Macon, telling him not to blow their pitch, and then licks his face. I don't know.
Okay.
Then Macon steps up and is like, okay, time to give Alexander the pitch of like what we're doing tonight.
Yeah. I would love to hear the pitch, honestly.
Oh, here you go.
Oh boy.
Macon goes, okay, so we're gonna cut this guy's body in half, and then we're gonna dump his body in a vacant lot, and we're gonna use the pressed up things, I don't know what that means, as part of the paper mache elements of like a massive multimedia meta structure with participational okay, you know what? Let me start over. So maybe something a little more progressive. We'll staple a pancake to his face and push him in front of the G train, and no one will ever know. So
what the hell? What? Cassie, why does this always happen? I feel like you cover these movies where I'm like, I just sit here and I go, what? Maybe we'll just staple a pancake to his face. Okay. That's probably a good idea.
Why? What does that mean? Like, artistically, I want to know. Like, what are you trying to say here?
Right. Like, what is the deeper meaning? I couldn't tell you.
No, but Alexander is bored of Macon's pitch. So he looks at Lexi and is like, let's see what you've got. So Lexi's pitch is, well, I've been working on a video installation and it's almost done. I was thinking about incorporating tonight's events into the installation. I call it Valediction in Black. And she takes him over to her video camera that she has set up and is like, so let me show you what I've got so far. I want it to be abstract like this. And she shows him a video that she's been putting together. It's a little low budget short and it shows her in a hot tub, or actually I think it's just a regular bathtub, screaming in fear while hot dogs are being thrown at her. And then there's also a quick shot of a duck or something at one point. And then there's also a quick shot of a snow globe. And there's a page in a book that repeats the words "I'm sorry" over and over.
Yes.
It's odd. Anyways,
Yes.
she's excited about it.
Oh, it sounds good. It sounds
next
great.
episode.
I like the duck.
Yeah.
I am a fan of the duck.
That's my favorite part.
Mine too.
So yeah, she's excited because she's already booked a venue to premiere this little film, and it's going to be at some like random juice bar, which Paul is the one to point out. Like, he's hating on her movie and is judging the juice bar premiere. So Alexander turns to Paul and is like, okay, well then what's your pitch? And Paul goes, I think my photographs speak for themselves. And Alexander puts an arm around Paul's shoulder and has a little walk around the room with him while he explains, Paul, I was just messing around with you earlier. Your photographs are Excelsior.
Oh.
And Paul's like, okay, that's nice. But like, he goes, but seriously, like, who is this guy you brought with you? He's still on edge about this random dude, Psycho. And Alexander's like, oh, he's my drug dealer. It's all right. He's not going to hurt you. His gun is fake.
Oh,
Paul's
okay,
still
good.
questioning that, but Alexander lowers his voice even more and is like, Paul, I'm going to need you to trust me. You're the front runner for the grant. And then he walks over to Bill sitting on the floor on his little video game.
Yes.
He's like, what do you got, buddy? Bill's kind of uninterested and goes, I don't know. I was going to cut his dick off and set him on fire. And we get like a hilarious close-up shot on Chris's shocked and terrified face with dramatic music.
Yeah, I could see this.
But Alexander seems unimpressed by all of these pitches. So he pulls up a chair and gives them a little talk about how he's like disappointed so far. And he gets into this huge monologue about how these people need to step up if they want to make something of themselves.
Yeah.
And tonight when they kill Chris and get the coroner's report back, he said, it better say cause of death, art. And
yes.
They all start clapping in awe at this like ridiculous 2-minute monologue. And then even though the whole point of this evening is for someone to impress him and win this art grant, Alexander decides to come up with a plan himself because he just loves to hear himself talk. And he says, so we'll wait until the witching hour and then we'll stab him. We'll all stab him until he dies. Which like, wow, Alexander, like how revolutionary.
Yeah, that one's really, really creative. Can I
I'm
just
Team
say,
Pancake.
I am Team Pancake.
Yes.
You know what? I was making fun of it, but then I heard everybody else's.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Actually, the pancake sounds kind of fun.
Exactly.
Not gonna lie. The thing that's happening in my brain right now is like you said, cause of death, art. And then my brain started running because Art the clown kills people in creative ways. And one of the major kills is that he cuts somebody in half. And I'm like,
wow.
there's a connection here. And it may not be real, but it's real in my head. It's in the same universe. Art is related. And maybe Art the clown is called Art the clown because he kills people in artistic ways. I don't know. My brain just started going places.
Oh my gosh. No, Art is like an artiste.
Yeah.
He's like he does performance art, and I think it extends into his kills.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do here tonight, performance art.
Right. Cause of death, art in two ways, at least in Terrifier, right? Art the clown and art because it's artistic.
Yeah.
And they just need to call up Art the clown and maybe.
Should I lie to you and like make up an ending where Art shows up at the end of this?
Yes, please do that. Actually, that would be so I would feel good about myself.
Macon is so me because he's like, all right, well, if we're gonna wait that long, like we have to wait till the witching hour now, I'm gonna need to go pick up some food.
Real.
Also, they all seem to agree that the witching hour is midnight, which it most definitely is not. It is 3 a.m.
3 a.m. That's upsetting that they got that
arguably wrong. Right. Arguably, it can also be like any 3 a.m. time. You know, like it's during the witching hour. Like it doesn't have to be exactly 3 a.m. You know what I mean?
Right. Generally 3 to 4, 3 to 3:59. Some people say that the golden minute is 3:33.
Yeah. So I do wonder, like, if they're just idiots or if the writers thought the witching hour was midnight. Like, are the characters thinking that or the writers? I don't know, because there's just like there's so much humor in it that I'm like, midnight, hello guys.
Wrong.
Yeah, but Alexander's like, okay, Macon, I also need you to pick up some cake. Every party needs a cake. And then the groups start arguing about what to eat for the main. They want pizza, maybe Chinese, maybe sushi, maybe Thai, Mexican, fish and chips, breakfast. Like,
Ooh.
everyone is spitballing.
Options.
Really trying to figure out what we should be eating tonight. Eventually, they settle back on pizza.
Ugh.
I know. The most boring one.
Worst option.
And by the time they have that settled, they're like, oh shit, because they realize that while they've been stressing about food, Chris is no longer in the chair.
Oh.
Yes, he's gone. He's managed to free himself from the binds.
Chris W.
Yeah. So everyone but Alexander ends up like getting involved, attempting to recapture and find Chris, who was just hiding behind a pile of boxes before being called out. They're like, he's there. And then it turns into like this cat and mouse through the rooms of this warehouse. And it's the most unserious game of cat and mouse I've seen in a horror movie. It's actually it's pulled off so well. It's so funny.
Yeah.
At one point, Macon has a chainsaw and is walking down a hallway after Chris, but like it's a wired chainsaw and it ends up unplugging itself when he steps a little too far. So Chris just ends up pushing him to the side and like running off.
Yeah.
Every time Lexi sees him, she's treating him like a mouse in her kitchen. She's all scared and jumpy and she just keeps screaming, there he is, like all scared instead of actually trying to do something about it. And then eventually Chris does get cornered and he ends up shutting himself in a closet, but everyone just crowds around and like waits for him to come out. There's no escape in there.
Yeah.
And in the closet with Chris, we see him looking around for a weapon, but there isn't much. He's basically, there's like a bunch of junk, including a fire extinguisher on the floor. So it ends with like a shot of us looking at the fire extinguisher, like, oh, okay, maybe we can use this. So we cut to Chris opening up the closet door. He steps out with a bunch of like junk scraps and the fire extinguisher just in his arms.
Oh, okay.
And then he throws them very pitifully in the general direction of everyone standing there. Like it's almost like he just drops them. And everyone's confused.
Yeah,
but they're so confused and taken aback by what he's just done that Chris is able to then just run past them all and continue on his trek. Trying to get out of this place.
Is he an idiot or is he a genius?
Giving genius, kinda.
Right? Confuse them.
Yeah.
Confuse them. I've always been a fan of like, if a serial killer like kidnapped me, I would just be so annoying.
Yes.
That they would have to just leave me on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I've had dreams like that where I'm like being kidnapped and I'm playing the Intuit and I'm just like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, work has been so hard. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you. And then it almost always works. Like they always drop me off.
That is a wild, like recurring nightmare. What the hell, girl?
It's not even a nightmare. It just is. It's chill. My nightmares get crazy, so that's like very
true.
tame.
No, you guys don't understand. The dreams that this girl has are wild.
Yeah, I should be writing them down. I should.
You need a dream journal.
Yeah. So he does get away from them for a moment, but unfortunately he's immediately jumped by all of them in like the first hallway that he escapes to.
Of course.
And we cut to him being tied up in the chair again in the main room.
Naturally.
Yeah. And this time he's like, they have him binded with chains and a lock instead of just rope.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of a montage here where Paul is focused on trying to set up these different shots of Chris, messing with his camera and lighting and angles. He's so me. And it's only Zyko and Bill in the room with him who are both refusing to help at all. Zyko, the random security guy, and Bill is the random video game on the floor guy who's part of the group but like never doing anything.
Right.
Alexander and Lexi are off having sex in another room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
okay.
And Macon is finally back now with the pizza and the cake.
Right.
And he finds out when he gets back that Alexander and Lexi had sex, and he seems real sad about it. We're getting signs here that like he's really into Lexi.
Yeah.
But we don't have to worry about that. Food is here. It's time to eat.
Yep.
Train. Alexander, though, is like, no one touch the cake. The cake is for Chris. So they set the cake on Chris's lap. And Paul asks Lexi if he can borrow her phone to make a call. On the call, we hear him talking to someone and going, hey, can you come down here, please? The address should be on my computer. So, like, that's concerning. Like, who are you talking to? Who are you inviting to this murder party right now? Alexander addresses the room now and is like, hey, guys, Zyko brought us a little gift. It's time to play a game.
Oh, okay, Jigsaw.
Right? And we cut to the group sitting in a circle together, and the little gift is a couple syringes full of sodium amytal, more commonly referred to as truth serum. And Alexander's like, it's time to play some truth or dare.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which they never actually play, but it's fine. I know, I was
truth
excited.
Or dare.
It's like this whole moment where he's like, truth or dare? And I'm like, yeah. And then I realized, not until I started writing, that I was like, they never even did this. But okay.
Oh, man.
But so they all end up taking the truth serum, except we notice that Alexander injects his dose into his pizza crust instead of directly into himself like everyone else.
Dude, God, I hate my brain. You're like into his pizza crust. I was like, whoa.
No, I wouldn't put it past this movie to do that.
Well, that's why I was like, he put it where? Oh, pizza
valid.
Crust. Never mind.
Everyone gets high pretty fast. Like stupid jokes that make no sense are flying. They're giggly.
Mm-hmm.
But then Chris, in his chair outside the circle, starts clapping his feet together at them to get their attention. They're all like, oh, Chris wants to tell a joke too. Okay. Yeah. So Alexander gets up and takes the bandana out of Chris's mouth and so he can talk. And Chris tells his joke.
Oh.
And he goes, okay, so I got one. It's, I'm having one heck of a crazy night, but with a K, like K, like with the armor, because I'm dressed as a knight. And they're all like sitting there quietly. Like looking at him, and he goes, I don't deserve to be punished.
Oh
like
my God.
A pun.
Are you sure this person's name isn't Alex? I'm so sorry.
If you know, you know. The group erupts with laughter, and Alexander's like, you're my new best friend, and rolls his chair into a spot in the circle with the group before injecting him with truth serum as well.
Oh.
Like right in the neck, yeah.
Okay.
We cut to a little while later. Everyone's still in the circle, but the giggly high has worn off, and now all the truths and secrets are spilling out.
Mm-hmm.
Bill confesses, I don't want to be here. I want to be at home watching a DVD with my mom and dad. Which explains his behavior. He's just been off on his own in his own land this whole time.
He's like, no.
For Lexi's truth, she pulls out these silicone bra pads from her shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Macon's like, I love that you did that. I love you. Let's be honest, everyone. Let's get real, like Lexi. And Paul goes, I'm bisexual and I'm pretty sure everyone in the world is.
Oh.
And then Zyko goes, I make sex with pillow. Which is, that's good for you, Zyko.
That's nice, Zyko. Thank you for
sharing.
You
have fun with that.
Yeah.
Macon goes, hey, Lexi, remember that time a couple years ago when we went and watched them detonate those old water towers from the roof of that factory? And we smoked that hash that tasted like soap. And then we had ice cream bars. Do you remember that, Lexi? Which, like, okay, vibes.
Yeah.
And Lexi goes, vaguely. And then Macon continues, you went home with that guy named Guns. Well, after you left, I picked up your popsicle stick from your ice cream. And then he reaches into his sweatshirt pocket and pulls out that popsicle stick in a little Ziploc baggie.
Ew, what the
that he has been carrying around ever since.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's just like a moment of silence around the group as we all soak that in.
Yep.
And then Bill pipes up and is like, what do you guys say about me? You know, like when I'm not around. And Paul goes, well, we're kicking you out of the collective. And Lexi's like, yeah, just because you're really talented and we're insecure. I hate that. I used to love art and now I just hate it.
Oh, classic.
Bill mutters to himself, you guys suck. And things go a little more off the rails here. Macon is droning on and on about what love means to him. Mm-hmm. Lexi's focusing on her fascination with the power of the N-word. And Bill's confessing that he doesn't just hate this group, he hates all white people. So it's a lot. Like, truths are spilling.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. And then Paul goes, Alexander, do you really have $300,000 in grant money? And Alexander goes, no, it's more like $500,000.
Oh.
Yeah. But remember, Alexander isn't actually injected with this truth serum. He put that in his pizza crust. He never ate that pizza crust. We cannot trust him.
Right.
Chris pipes up then, I dumped myself. It was at my cousin's wedding. I was running late and got stuck in the elevator. I was there for half an hour and I stuck a dump right in my pants. And then the elevator went down to the lobby, all filled with people from a model airplane convention, and I had to walk up 6 flights of stairs, and it touched my socks.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of sad. Like, I'm sad for him.
Boys wrote the script.
Yes.
Holy shit. Wow.
This is probably the most boy-coded script we've ever experienced.
You're so right about that.
Yeah. So they start asking him, like, all of them kind of realize Chris is there again. And they start asking him a bunch of questions about himself, like rapid fire. One of them asks what he does for work at one point, and he's like, I work for the NYPD. And Lexi screams, you're a fucking cop? And he's like, nah, I work for the Parking Enforcement District, civilian branch of NYPD. I make $26,000 a year, and all I do is write tickets and ruin people's days. If I were to die, the world would be fine and no one would miss me. I didn't even tell anyone I was coming to the murder party. And then he falls asleep.
Okay.
Nighty-night.
Good night.
And then we watch him fall asleep, and then we hear in the background Lexi go, let's do coke. So, of course, we have a coke-infused dance break, and Macon is drowning in his hard liquor, staring angrily at Lexi dancing with Alexander.
Oh, yep.
Yes. And the alcohol, like, spilling all down his chest. He starts throwing chairs, and, like, no one seems to notice. Oh. Alexander does, however, notice Paul being all wholesome, like, sitting at a table carving a pumpkin.
Yep.
And we cut to Alexander and Paul having sex in the same exact spot that Alexander and Lexi did an hour or so ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the montage is still going, and Bill has just been painting on a canvas through everything, sitting on the floor painting his little canvas.
Good for him.
Yeah, and Macon is just pouring the alcohol all over himself at this point and then passes out on the floor.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that we're sitting on the floor painting on canvas at this point.
Yeah.
If we're there.
We are Bill at this point.
We are Bill.
Or potentially, we could be Chris. Like I said, we wouldn't go, but Alexander sends Bill out to go and check on his dog, who has been chilling in the back alley of this building. As soon as Bill is gone, Alexander, Paul, and Lexi start hating on his painting that he's been working on.
Oh.
Yeah. They're like making fun of how bad it is, which Bill walks in on when he returns from checking on Hammer.
Yeah.
And Lexi's like, oh, hey, how's the dog? Bill goes, the dog is fine. Should we carry on with the murder? Like, he really just wants to get out of here. Zyko jumps up at that and is like, yup, agreed. Like, please, I got places to be. Bill returns to his painting, taking it off its little easel, and he chucks it. And it's just like time for him to start something new, which I was very sad.
Aww. Yeah.
And Alexander pulls Zyko aside and is like, hey, so before we move on to the murder, I'm going to need you to go get me a big bag of crank. And Zyko's annoyed, but he's like, all right, can I pick up like fish and chips too? And Alexander goes, no, I'll treat you after. So it's a deal. He's going to go get a big bag of crank, which apparently is a type of meth. That's the plan. Zyko leaves and Alexander turns to address everyone else, informing them that the witching hour is upon them. But before they perform their ritual murder, he's going to recite Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven in its entirety. So,
okay.
You got to do it before any ritual murder.
That's important.
So he starts doing that when suddenly they get a knock on their warehouse door. And then they hear a woman calling out, hello, hello. And Chris is getting excited because he's like, oh my God, maybe it's someone who can help me.
Right.
But Paul's not worried. He's excited and he goes and answers the door and then walks in with a woman who appears to be his assistant. This is who he called earlier on, wanting help setting up his shots.
Right.
The rest of the group, though, is really annoyed. They're like, dude, like, how are you just bringing another person into this right now? Hello. But Paul doesn't seem to care. And honestly, neither does his assistant. She's like not batting an eye at anything she sees going on in this room.
Okay.
But still, Alexander, Lexi, and Paul are all arguing. This is when Macon wakes up from where he was passed out drunk on the floor.
Yes.
And he's like, I did not wake up just to hear all this bitching and moaning. I'm going out for a smoke. And outside, with his wolf mask on, Macon lights up a cigarette in his mouth, and it immediately catches fire. because of the fact that he doused himself in alcohol. So it like catches fire on his mask and then it just immediately spreads everywhere.
Yeah.
Back in the main room, you can hear Macon's screams from outside. At least Chris can. Like, he's the only one who visibly notices the screams happening out there. Everyone else is acting like they can't hear it. Paul's assistant is still doing her thing, setting up shots. And then Paul, Alexander, and Lexi are still fighting. And Alexander ends up going, it sounds like Paul doesn't want the grant. And Paul calls him out and is like, what grant? You've been talking about this grant for 3 months. And I don't mean to be rude, but I haven't even seen this renowned artwork of yours that everyone is supposedly talking about. Ooh. And what's in that little sketchbook that you're always carrying around? So yeah, we're sussing.
Yes.
Alexander hears Hammer barking outside. Never heard a single scream from Macon, but then the barking he hears.
Of course.
And he asks Lexi to go and get him. Of course, when Lexi goes outside, she sees Macon on the ground, burning alive, and she comes running back in the warehouse with Hammer, yelling, Macon's on fire! And Chris hears this. The assistant doesn't. She's too busy. Alexander and Paul are still arguing. They don't pay attention to what she's saying.
Oh, dear.
So Lexi's on her own. She ties Hammer's leash to Chris's chair, then grabs a fire extinguisher, heads back outside, and the extinguisher doesn't work. So she runs back in, gets a new one, this time forcing the assistant to come with her with a second extinguisher for backup. Yeah. And both of them end up working. They end up being able to extinguish the fire.
Oh, okay. Well, but what's the state of our friend here?
Well, we'll see. Meanwhile, Chris can see that Hammer is still interested in that chest freezer, so he works to get Hammer free from the leash. And he succeeds, and Hammer goes and starts barking at the freezer, which finally distracts Alexander from his argument with Paul. Mm-hmm. And Alexander discovers Sky's dead body. At the same time, Lexi and the assistant are carrying Macon's burned body inside. He's alive, but in a lot of pain.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Just like looking like Freddy Krueger now, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Except more melty and wet and fresh, you know?
Oh, yep. Ew, gross.
Yeah. So Alexander sees Macon, and he assumes that he's going to be dying soon. And he goes, 2 down, 3 to go.
Oh.
But then just at that moment, Paul injects Alexander with some truth serum, realizing that he's finally realized, like, you didn't take it with us. So he injects him. And we cut to them interrogating the now truth serumed Alexander, who is very, very blissed out. And Alexander goes, I'm a fraud, Cook. There's no grant, no gallery.
Yeah, we kind of were getting there, weren't we? Yeah.
Meanwhile, Paul's assistant in the back is like, hey, I'm going to go now. And Lexi asks Alexander, then what are you doing with our art? And he goes, well, I'm going to kill you all, and then I'm going to sell it because, you know, art isn't really worth anything until you're dead. And Lexi's like, oh, okay, so you do like our art. And back to the assistant, she's like, hey, seriously, I'm going to leave. And Paul's like, okay, yeah, we all are. I just want to take a picture first. So he starts to finally get ready to take his perfect shot. And this is when Zyko shows up with a big bag of crank that Alexander requested.
Right, of course.
And Alexander sees him and is like, oh, hey, dude, shoot Paul in the face. And Zyko does not hesitate. Just as Paul snaps his shot, he gets a bullet right through the head. Yeah. Alexander's like, great, you can shoot all of them now. So next, Zyko shoots and kills the assistant. Poor girl.
Oh, yeah.
Then realizes that, wait, Paul is still standing and yapping about how unbelievable this is, and please, would you just let him finish his photography? Well, the answer is no. He shoots Paul a couple more times, and he does fall dead to the floor.
Okay.
Hammer is now chowing down on the bag of crank.
Oh!
Not good.
Not good at all.
Lexi tackles Zyko from the back, jumping on him, like on his back, and she manages to wrestle him to the ground. Macon has found the strength to stand again and tears the werewolf mask from his face, but like it's half still melted on his face.
Oh my god.
He's still got a little snout.
What is happening?
He is completely unrecognizable. It's terrifying. 3rd, 4th degree burns. And he manages to plug in that chainsaw that he loves so much again. And then just so you know, Bill is playing his video games on the floor.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
Yeah, he's just like in his own world as always. But Macon takes that chainsaw and cuts Zyko's leg off. So Lexi's able to get free of his hold and Zyko is just left to bleed to death. Like I think he actually dies from that, which I don't,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just immediately dies from his leg being cut off.
Okay.
And then once Lexi is free, she immediately runs and grabs a key, then unlocks the chains that are binding Chris.
Oh.
And Alexander looks around at everything going on and then looks at his phone and he shrugs a little before he just leaves. He just like leaves the room. He's like, I'm going to go now.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
But Hammer, like his dog, runs right after him. Lexi's in the middle of unraveling the chains around Chris when she suddenly gets an axe to the head.
Oh, no.
Falls dead to the floor. Thanks to Bill, who is now up from his video games. I know. And he's just screaming, everybody dies. Everybody dies.
Clearly, because everybody's died in the past like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm stressed.
Hammer comes running back into the room and then is followed by Alexander on all fours.
No.
Army crawling after him.
No,
and his face has been bitten off along with his legs like being all messed up and bitten off and stuff. Because apparently like Hammer high on crank attacked him. So he's in rough shape. Bill sees Alexander crawling around and finishes him off, like beating him with the axe. I think a bat as well. I don't know. He switches up what he wants to use.
All right, yeah.
And he's still screaming, everybody dies. And Chris, at this point, has managed to free himself from the chains the rest of the way. Yeah. And he runs off. Macon comes to again. This man just keeps like randomly passing out every 10 minutes, probably because of the burn marks.
That makes sense.
You know? So he comes to again and he checks on Lexi, realizing that she's dead, which is like the love of his life.
Right.
Bill doesn't notice that Macon's still alive and immediately starts to try and hunt Chris down through the halls of this warehouse. And this is our second survivability check-in.
Wow, there's a lot to take in. So let me clarify.
Yeah.
We've got Bill, Chris, and Macon that are still alive.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and Macon's essentially on his last, should be on his last leg,
right.
but
you never know from a movie like this.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie, like there was a part of me that was like, Bill's sus because he's so normal.
Right.
In the sense that I was like, he's gotta have some kind of character switch up. You know? But still, this is where do I begin?
I don't even remember how I came to the percent that I chose. It's so chaotic.
Yeah, it's pure chaos. I mean, I guess as Bill, I'm not 100, right? No, he
as
went
Bill.
Through not Bill. Sorry.
As Chris, main character Chris. Okay.
I feel like because Chris has like there's a little bit of shit. I don't know. There's so many opportunities for things to go wrong here. It's very chaotic. There's just people throw themselves around. Bill could have been killed at any point. Macon should be dead. He's on fire. Everybody else is dead. Obviously, at this point, we went to the party. So that's out of the question. Still not throwing a murder party, but assuming that I was in this room at this point, I want to say 78.
Okay. I went 73.
Okay. It's crazy. I almost went 72 and then I upped it.
I went 73 because, we just have to put ourselves here now.
Yep.
I think I am 100 as Chris. But if for some reason I am some of these idiotic art students, there's just nothing you can do about like having your back turned and getting an axe to the head by a friend that just snapped and you didn't realize it.
Right.
Like they thought the threat was gone. So a big part of this is Lexi's death, where Bill just snaps and starts going for her. And then, I could be attacked by a crank dog. Like, I don't think I would be able to defend myself very well there.
Probably not.
And I could be shot in the head. Like, again, it's like all their deaths just happen very quickly. Like, they don't really see it coming. Yeah, there's still a little bit of me who's like, obviously in this situation, we are Chris. Like, we are not.
Yes.
These other people. So you have to factor his position more than the others. But
exactly.
In the case that we're those other people, sure, we're in the 70s.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's kind of the thought process I went through for the most part.
Yeah. Bill sees Chris escape from this one area of the warehouse and then go through like this conveyor belt situation that goes from one floor to the next floor.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really sure. I think he can't leave the way that he came. I think they locked that with like a special
Right.
key from the inside. So he's just trying to get away, and he ends up going up this conveyor belt to the next floor. Bill sees this, goes on it after him. And then on top of this, we see Macon has his trusty wired chainsaw that he's like running around with, trying to
Okay.
find Bill to avenge Lexi's death. So like we have a whole 3-part cat and mouse.
Oh, yep.
With like Macon trying to get Bill and Bill trying to get Chris.
It's so funny. Like, for some reason, this particular cat and mouse is making me like, I'm picturing Scooby-Doo. You know, like how they have like the hallway with like the doors and they're always, like always, yeah, that's kind of where my brain is.
Yes, that is the energy. That's the energy.
Yeah.
So eventually, though, after some cat and mouse in the warehouse, Chris does make it to the roof of the warehouse.
Oh.
And he has to stop and pee, which, like, honestly, I never thought about this.
No, me neither.
In hostage cat and mouse horror situations, I'm gonna own the fact that I probably end up just peeing my pants.
Oh, 100%.
Because you just got to do it and get on with it. But I never really thought about it.
Me neither.
Yeah, while he's peeing, Bill comes out on the roof as well. And he's got like this smile on his face, but a Michael Myers walk going on.
Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah. So Chris finishes peeing, and then he runs to a ladder that leads up to another tier of this roof, and Bill follows after him. And then we see Macon come through that main door of the roof below them, like shortly after, like, you know, it's flowing. And we have a whole roof chase sequence. Chris is running. Bill is walking.
Yep.
Somehow Macon's chainsaw cord is still going.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah. At one point, Chris's watch starts beeping and it's time to take his nighttime meds, which he stops and pulls out his meds out of his pocket and takes them on time. Very responsible guy.
Yes, priorities.
You need them right now, you know? Eventually, Chris makes it to a rooftop because all these rooftops are very close together. It's like we're in the city. So he's just jumping rooftop to rooftop. And a lot of them are like literally pushed up against each other, like no crazy jumps.
Yeah.
And he makes it to a rooftop where a Halloween party is going on. So he runs over and is like screaming at these party goers, like, help, he's a murderer, call 911, I need a phone. And the party goers are like annoyed with him. They definitely think he's just some drunk asshole trying to be funny.
Halloween.
Of course, no one's taking him seriously. So he heads down the stairwell of this building where the main party is in full swing on the lower level. And Bill, meanwhile, makes it to the party rooftop, just walks right through everyone with his axe. They don't bat an eye.
Mm-hmm.
And when Bill makes it down to the dance party floor, he goes over and orders himself a drink, like, you know, long night, and he takes his time, but then he spots Chris running off down a hallway and starts running after him again. They're just like hurling like his axe every which way. No one's concerned. They're just like, man, sloppy drunks. Chris gets away and ends up running down a hall and opening a door at random, just trying to like get out of sight.
Yeah.
Steps inside. Now, in this room.
Okay. I'm ready.
In this room, there are some people. We have 6 people.
What are they doing?
4 of them are naked women with their costumes painted on instead of wearing them.
Right. Yes.
And a dude in a creepy black mask is doing some stretches on the floor. I don't know.
Okay.
And then another guy is also there that appears to be a photographer.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Good for them.
Yeah,
I hope they have fun.
I think they are. So Chris does take a moment to look at the women's boobs. And then he snaps out of it and he's like, sorry, I'll only be a minute. I just need to hide. Does anyone have a cell phone? And he scampers on over to this little column, like white column box, I don't know, in the corner and crouches behind that.
Sure.
Back out in the hallway, Chris had passed by this security dude, and that security dude now notices and recognizes Bill walking by. And he's like, Bill? Bill stops and smiles like in recognition. And he's like, oh, hey, Cicero, cool party. And yeah, it's like the Cicero art party.
Yes, I forgot about that. Oh, the photographer. Okay, I see what's happening.
So Cicero's a little annoyed and is like, ugh, so they are letting a lot of people in. And he talks into his little walkie-talkie and goes, Jared, lock it up. The show hasn't started yet, you dildos.
Yep.
And then he turns back to Bill and is like, welcome. So how's it going? Finally, an artiste. Are you here for the bus people show? Honestly, you should have your own show. And Bill smiles, genuinely happy to like get some praise and recognition, says thank you. And then Cicero goes, hey, is Alexander coming to the party? I've been talking to him about getting a grant. Let me get you a drink. I'll be right back. And he walks off to like a nearby kitchen area.
Yep.
But Bill is left fuming and he says to himself, fuck this whole scene. Everybody dies.
Oh.
And he ends up entering the room that Chris is in.
Yeah.
And as soon as he steps in, he like swings his axe and knocks a pumpkin off the top of this little white column, the box situation that Chris is hiding behind, exposing him.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And Chris gasps. He's like, oh, we'll have to fight him off or he'll kill us. And the photographer goes, oh, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And then immediately gets an axe to the skull.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't stop there. Bill starts swinging on all 6 of these people that were occupying this room, killing them all. It's a very white room as well. The blood splatter goes crazy.
Yeah.
And Chris is just in the corner covering his ears and just like crying and saying over and over, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Now, we cut to Macon making it to the rooftop party.
Jeez.
And it wasn't until this point that I realized it wasn't a bit that was happening where he had an insanely long cord attached to the chainsaw that was plugged in the whole time.
Yeah.
He's just hauling a very long extension cord with him everywhere he's going. And I was like a little disappointed when I made that realization. I was like, oh, that would have been so funny if you guys just had it like never ending.
Yeah.
It's just silly. But no, yeah, he's just hauling this extension cord. And he's now arrived at the party. Back to the white room covered in blood, Bill is now turning on Chris. And Chris begs him to stop killing everyone. But Bill, of course, does not listen. And he repeats, everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Back to Macon, he's managed to find an outlet on the top of this rooftop, which he's very excited about.
Yeah.
So he can finally plug in his chainsaw. He plugs it in, backs up, revs it up, and then he falls over the side of the rooftop. Backwards. And then he falls.
Oh my God.
The chainsaw comes with him too.
Oh.
And then we cut back to Chris, where they see Macon fall past them through this open window.
Amazing.
And then the orange cable is also dangling, and the chainsaw has managed to stay plugged in up on the rooftop. So Chris quickly pulls the cord up and grabs the chainsaw as a weapon. It's like, perfect.
Yay!
So it's time for a 1v1 chainsaw versus axe, and Chris manages to land a hit right to Bill's face. The chainsaw digs deeper and deeper, giving him like this slow, painful death, and the blood is flying. The whole time Chris is severely grossed out by what he's doing. He's like, ew, ew, ew.
Yeah.
But then Bill finally slouches dead to the ground.
Oh.
And Chris takes a breather before grabbing a carved pumpkin and placing it on Bill's head for some reason.
Just for funsies.
You know, just be a little festive. He just wanted to be a little festive today. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let him have this.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you just ruined the party. And then he leaves the room. Yeah.
Okay.
He just wanted to go to a Halloween party.
Yeah, you know, that's all.
Out in the hall, people are starting to do a walkthrough of this area of the party, which is supposed to be like a performance art show of some kind.
Okay.
So when a group of people come into this white room covered with dead people, they're just blown away by this absolute art.
Yep, I see that.
Yeah. Chris walks up to some random guy, takes his phone out of his hand, dials 911, says, it's real, before then handing the phone back to the guy and just moving on. He's just like, I gotta get home. Like, it's real. Those are actual dead bodies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Then he leaves and spends the rest of the night until morning walking all the way home because his wallet was left behind at the warehouse with his subway pass. His meds alarm goes off again while he's walking, you know, once morning hits. But instead of taking the anti-anxiety meds, he takes his pill bottle and throws it into the river. I think this experience just like he feels like untouchable, unstoppable. Like he's
you know
like,
what?
You know what I mean? Like the adrenaline. He's like, I don't even need these. Like, if I got through that, I can get through anything.
You know what? Yeah, you know, he's not wrong for that.
Yeah. When he gets home, the first thing he does is grab the milk carton from the fridge and starts drinking from it directly. Hate that, but I mean, I'm sure he's thirsty.
Yeah, fair enough.
He brought the candy corn bowl inside from the porch, and there's still a little bit left. So he grabs that too and heads into the living room where his cat is still sitting in his spot on the chair. And he goes, "Sir Lancelot, please get down." This time, after a bit of a stare down, Sir Lancelot does jump down from the chair. And Chris takes a seat with his milk and candy corn, still in his cardboard night costume covered in blood, turns on the TV, hopefully in my headcanon for some weekend morning cartoons.
Yep.
And that is the end of this movie.
What? Okay. Everything you said at the beginning, best friends got together, had no money, made a movie. It's like, yep, that's the vibe that I got from everything. Especially the script, because so much of that is like, what's happening? I don't know. So our final act, we had Macon fell off a roof. Bill got a chainsaw to the face.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris walked away. And then there's those 6 other people making art in the room. So for this act, I'm going to give myself a 71.
I gave myself a 65, but do you know why? It's because I took into account those people in the room that were just at a party. And, you know, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like wrong place, wrong time.
Right. I'm not falling off a roof with a chainsaw. Like, I just don't see myself in that situation. Chris walking away from everything makes me feel pretty good about me walking away, especially if chainsaw is my weapon.
Mm-hmm.
As hard as it would be to swing a chainsaw at somebody's face and just hold it there, as it sounds like Chris was very grossed out by this, so would I be, but like, I think chainsaw versus axe, chainsaw has the upper hand there.
If you can land it. It's like, the thing is, both of them you have to rely on wingspan a bit. Is that what it's called? And it's like, oh man, guy with long arms with an axe and me with a chainsaw, there's a chance he lands that hit before I do.
The thing with a chainsaw, though, I feel like you don't even have to like swing it. You can just hold it out in front of you and just charge. Which I feel like gives you, because any kind of touch with a chainsaw is gonna hurt. Whereas like an axe could be okay with a hit, like if it doesn't hit you right. So I feel like that fight I'm not 100% getting out of, but I'm decently okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, the people at the party, it's like, I don't know. I want to believe I could fight an axe. I don't think that's true, but like, I want to believe it. And the type of party that they're at, probably not me.
Yeah,
but of course, still a chance for me to die. So 71 just kind of lands me in a place where I do think I'm good, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And then my weighted score comes out to 78.
Okay. That's funny. Mine comes out to 73, which is so weird because that's our second act scores.
Oh, whoa.
Spooky.
And second act was the highest action of the film. So
yeah. I am raising mine from 73. I want to give it a flat 80.
Okay.
Because like, so much of this movie is like in the concept, and I'm just not a part of this concept, like in any way, shape, or form. So I want to like have that be of more importance than a typical movie. Because I feel so strongly that I'm none of these people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just going to raise it to a flat 80 because it's just like, I can't go lower than that for this kind of movie.
So valid. I'm good with my 78 because I feel like, you know, we're in that. Yeah, we're
same area.
Real close on this one.
Yeah, so, very.
We've never had the exact same score, right?
Nope.
I think we've had many times where we're 2 away and it falls in between those 2 numbers. Yeah. But we've never had an exact match.
Even down to like the check-ins. We've never matched on a check-in. Well, this one was, I don't know. We're like mid-October now. I think we have 2 more like Halloween episodes that we're going to cover. I still have yet to pick my next one, which will be the final one.
Yes.
Although I have an idea. And then you have yours picked.
I think,
Is it going to be a good next episode after something like this, or is it going to be crazy?
We'll see. I'm not sure how it's going to flow.
The voice got real high there.
Yeah, it sure did.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying October and you're enjoying our Halloween-themed movie coverage. Why did I say it like I'm a news anchor? Anyways.
You are a news anchor. What are you talking about?
You guys can check us out on Instagram at I'd Survive Podcast. We have a bunch of links over there, including one to our Discord where you can submit your own scores and let us know, would you survive?